I want to quickly talk to you about BACT. And when you hear about BACT, you think about business funding. But the big question is this business lender really worth it this year? So this is an important element. So let me first define what is BACT. I want to define what BACT really is for you. Okay. So if you close your eyes and think about BACT, I want you to think about a company that used to be called Get Backed. Okay, back in the days, they used to be called Get Backed, and they have gone through a rebranding process. So when you think about Backed, I want you to think about an alternative online lender for small business funding. Okay, so they're not your traditional lender, they're not your bank, they're not your credit union. They are an alternative online lender. So, like many alternative lenders, the company actually offers a quick and convenient online application. Okay, so you don't have to really submit a lot of paperwork, whatever, to qualify. They have lower qualifications, they have quicker approvals, and also faster funding than traditional business lenders. So, if you were to go to your Chase or to your Bank of America branch to get business funding, you probably could wait like 7 days, right? But with Backed, you can be funded within 1 to 2 days, depending on how much you want, but also depending on the niche your business is in. Okay, so that's an important element. And Backed actually has been around since 2018. So actually, the company was founded by two brothers. So that's kind of important. And basically, they're based in Texas. What I love about this company is that they're constantly increasing the portfolio of funding. So for the last nearly 10 years, they have funded nearly $1 billion, and they have actually talked to. I mean, they have approved over 10,000 businesses. So that's really good. That tells you a lot about their focus. So if you're listening to me, you're a small business, you don't have like established revenue, like constant revenue, and you want to have some kind of cash from them, basically speak to Backed. They can help you out big time, especially if you want your cash really, really fast. Okay, I'll speak about the different products they have later on so you can have a clear idea about what you want to really apply for. So let me first talk to you about how Backed works this year. So with Backed, you have three products. Okay, you have the working capital advance, you have the business line of credit, and then you have what they call the Backed Pay. This is actually the B2B buy now, pay later. Okay, basically, if you think about, let me first talk about the working capital advance. So here you have the advance amounts 10,000 all the way to $2 million. So that's really good. That tells you they're really focused. So $2 million, and the terms here you are looking at for the 16 months. 16 months, okay. So that's a little bit over 1 year. In terms of the rates, you have to really contact them, okay. But the funding here is you can be funded as soon as the same day. So if you get approved, let's say by 9 a.m. By the end of the day, you can have the cash in your account. But just remember that you have automatic daily or weekly or semi-monthly payments. They're not really giving you the monthly payment schedule. No, they want to take their cash as soon as possible. So maximum here, 2 million, minimum 10,000. That's number one. The cool thing about this working capital advance is that you can really use the funds for most working capital needs, like paying rent, making payroll, purchasing inventory, and covering cash flow gaps. Okay, Backed working capital advances really operate like a merchant cash advance. You receive a large lump sum payout, which you repay plus interest and fees with a percentage of your revenue. And then you also have the business line of credit. So here you have loan amounts from 10,000 to $750,000. Okay, and the cool thing is that here you have a soft credit pool, so they're not really touching your credit with a hard pull, and you can be funded within 24 hours. That's kind of cool. And you're paying back actually like depending on how often you tap into the credit line. So something to think about. And next you have the B2B, buy now, pay later. Okay. Sometimes they used to call it back pay. Okay. And so this back pay allows you to buy now, pay later for business to business transactions. So that's kind of cool. So basically, you as a vendor, you can sign up to you can sign up to offer terms actually to your customers for deferred payments for 3, 6, or even 9 months. So that's really good. So let me talk to you about the qualifications for backed here. So if you think about using backed this year, you have to be aware of a few things, and I want you to really pay attention here now. So the qualifications for backed business loans are kind of they are more lenient than traditional lenders. Okay, but the thing is, there's a catch. There's a catch. There are more those conditions are more stringent than some alternative lender competitors. So both the working capital advance and the business line of credit require your company to be based in the U.S. and have a business bank account. So that's an important element. You also must have a brick and mortar location, as except for e-commerce or similar businesses. Now, so let me give you the some of the eligibility criteria for each product. So for the working capital advance, there is there's no credit score minimum. You got to be in business at least 1 year, and you got to make at least $100,000. Okay, so annual revenue $100,000 minimum. For the business line of credit, you got to have a credit score of at least 600. You got to be in business for at least 1 year, and your annual revenue has to be at least $300,000. So something I need to say here is that there are some industries that backed doesn't really fund. Okay, like financial services, consulting services. Okay, you have real estate services, legal services. They do not actually fund government or nonprofit agencies, flea markets, conventions, adult entertainment, but also cannabis. So there are certain industries they're really staying very far away from. Okay, and one thing I want to say also is that basically BAC doesn't really publish information about their rates, their fees, their interest rates, and what have you. So you need to really make sure that you contact the company first and have a conversation with them before you actually go through the process. Okay, I mean, like all funding options, the better your credit score, the lower rate you will receive. But it's just one of those things where you want to really make sure things are transparent before you go through the process. So, how do you apply it to a back this year? Well, the process is very simple, nothing really complicated here. So, the first thing you want to do is to apply online. Okay. So, if you're applying for the line of credit or working capital products, you have to go online. Okay. And you have to click, there's a form, you can't miss it. The form will actually ask you how much you want and how do you plan to use the funds. So, the use of loan proceeds. And you have to really after that step, you have to enter your business's financial information. So yeah, like your full name, address, contact info, and your social security number. The the business's EIN, the business's revenue, all that kind of stuff. Okay. Also legal structure. So that's so once you really go through the let's say the business line of credit or working capital process, you will receive a pre-approval decision within minutes. So this is actually based on your social, but also based on other information that you have. Okay, and if you like what you have, if you like what you the offer you have, like then you what you do is that you approve the process. Okay, so the loan process will then move to underwriting. So you might have to speak with a backed representative over the phone to move forward. It's one of those things where you have to see what works for you. Okay. Now, one thing for sure, the website is trying to complete the whole process online, but for some funding rounds, they might need to really speak to you personally to understand more about your business model, and what you're going to use the cash for. And then you get funded. Okay, so after approval, your funds get sent to your business bank account within 24 hours. So this is not really, it's not really it's really fast. There's no delay. The repayment begins immediately after receiving your funds. So what happens here is that Backed will set up automatic payments, so you don't have to worry about scheduling or missing payments. And they also provide some flexibility in that you can choose daily, weekly, or semi-monthly payments. Okay, so there are actually early repayment penalties or discounts in some cases. So just so you know, okay, that's an important element. Now let me talk to you about the advantages and the disadvantages of doing business with Backed this year. First of all, the advantages. So you have an easy application process. You have a fast turnaround. You have flexible payments. You have a large borrowing amount, and you have unsecured funding. Let me explain a little further. So basically, the process, the application process, takes about 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, so there are also minimal documentation requirements. So Backed is not a no doc lender, no, but they are a low doc lender. And so after applying, you can get a instant pre-approval. So underwriting and final approval can happen on the same day. Like I said, 24 to 48 hours. So that's really fantastic. You have flexible payments. So basically, you're able to get your payments set up real fast. In terms of borrowing amount, you can actually get up to $2 million in working capital. Think about it. This is really good. And all those loans are unsecured. So basically, Backed is not really asking you for any kind of collateral. Okay, it's really unsecured. Now, what are the disadvantages of Backed this year? What should you know about Backed? And that can be really a little problematic. Well, the first thing is that you have undisclosed rates and fees. You have high revenue requirements, and you do have also restricted industries. So, in terms of restricted industries, I think I told you a little earlier the industries they don't like. Okay, so that's one of you can't really change it. If you are in those industries, just look for another lender. Okay, Backed is not the one. It's not the lender that you really need this year. And the high revenue requirements might be a little discouraging for some lenders. Like basically, if you want to get working capital, you got to have minimum $100,000. And for the line of credit, the limit even goes higher. You are looking at $300,000. Now, for some small businesses, it could be really, really a problematic because they're just struggling. Okay, so this is something that can be that can be detrimental for maybe for you if you haven't reached that level of revenue yet. Okay, in terms of undisclosed rates and fees, this is something they have to work on. So they're not transparent. So you have no idea. I have no idea. We have no idea. My team has no idea what the bank is charging on transactions. You just have to contact them and really go through the process. So let me talk about the pros and cons here. So one thing I want to say here is that in terms of pros, it's important to understand that not a lot of alternative lenders will give you your funds real fast. I mean, they'll make the process easy for you, but once they approve you, it doesn't really take 24 hours for them to release the funds. Sometimes they take days to release the funds. Okay, the thing about alternative lenders is that they're really fast in terms of underwriting, but they're slow in terms of disbursing the funds. And it's totally the opposite with traditional lenders such as banks and credit unions. Okay, but hey, it is what it is. At least with Backed, you are getting actually everything fast. Okay, so I think I've said this before. 24 to 48 hours. That's really good because it gives you flexibility, and also you have unsecured funding. So, but by the way, there are some loans where they were asking for PG. They're asking for personal guarantee. So just be aware of that. For instance, if you're trying to get the business line of credit, they will ask you for a PG in some cases, especially if you're looking to borrow a large loan amount. on the flip side, if you think about all the cons that you have, I want to say that basically the one you have to understand is the high revenue requirements. I mean, it's one of those things where if you need funding from Backed, you cannot escape that aspect of things. Okay, they're just blocking you with their very high revenue requirements. And one thing I want to say is that basically you want to, maybe if you want to go with Backed, maybe what you want to do is that you want to wait until you reach that level, or this is a hack I'm giving you now. You want to contact the company beforehand, like you want to contact them upfront and tell them, listen, I haven't reached your revenue requirements, but I'm interested in your products, and I can really pay. Maybe you can say, my company has made money, or my company is making money, or my company is growing. So you have to show something for them to really trust you. Okay, so that's an important element to think about this year. So overall, if you think about Backed, the big question is this lender legit? Yes, definitely. Like I said, the company was actually funded in 2018. Okay, this is a legitimate online business lender. They actually have an A plus rating on Triple B, so it tells you a lot about their strategy. This is a very, this is a verified company on Trustpilot. Okay, this is a good to really think about. And so, what I love about the about Backed is that people love the ease of the process, fast funding times, and excellent customer service. So people also love the fact that basically their customer service reps are usually knowledgeable about what the company is offering as products. Okay, so that's really good, and so that's really good. If you think about Backed, think about the impression of a boutique lending platform. Okay, and so now there are some negative reviews around the high cost. Okay, but also hidden fees. So this is something to really think about. And one thing I want to say here is that if bank denies your business loan request, don't worry. Don't worry about anything. You have multiple lenders wanting to really work with you. Okay, you can even go on platforms such as Clarify, such as National Business Capital, such as Lend You to actually get your loan there. Like you can go to those lending marketplaces as opposed to going to an individual lender. Just go to those lending marketplaces and try your luck over there. So here's an epilogue into this conversation. I spoke to you about Backed. I explained what Backed really is. What are the qualifications? How does the company work? How to apply? What are the pros and cons? And finally, whether or not the company is legit. Thank you so much. God bless you. I will see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.